And we'll get started because I saw Nicole pop on and she's our special guest trainer today. So I'll run through the first part pretty quickly. A couple reminders and then of course some recognition. I mean, I love my voice. I love that echo. No, I'm just kidding. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about Class A's and our guest trainer, Miss Katie Corgan. I heard her talk last week about customer acquisition, and I had to have her on because of what I think is coming as far as the compensation plan, and really this idea of having so many customers for residual income.
What are y'all doing?
Who are you talking to? I don't know who's unmuted. What I'm doing is I'm training the best team ever. When y'all were listening to Jake Spencer today, of some of the things that he was talking about ambassadors doing, I was like, oh my gosh, my team is so low maintenance. Like, I love us. But anyway, so, and inspiration from Lorena has been preaching to me for days now, and I'm just gonna let her get up on her little, what do they call it, pulpit, and do her thing, because she's got some things to say. And then I have an action step for you guys to set up for this new inspiration and creation that you know, I invested in a business coach, and she helped me create a solution for a problem that a lot of us are having, including me, a gold leader. So I'm excited to share that with you. But just the reminders, and I totally stole that first graphic from Nicole Trigg. I mean, why reinvent the wheel? I was a teacher, so we stole dittos from each other all the time. But anyway, Q product Friday updates. Yes, the peppermint and the EQ are sold separately right now and for $40. And then of course, if you're a Twist fan, you got to try the new Twist. You might as well get them when they're on a discount. There's an extra discount tonight. Make sure you watch Jake Spencer's training before you go to bed, so you can hear what that is. They will throat punch me if I say it out loud without you watching the whole training first. And then you get 6 additional sticks. So that's like a no-brainer, right? All right, Karen Share is going away. So if you earned it for this month, then that's the last month. And they gave plenty of reasons why. That's why they didn't just take it away and not give us anything. We have Q rewards. We also are going to be having some auto ship rewards that have to do with shipping, is what I've heard. Of course, the advisory council is going to be going over that this week, tomorrow, when they go up there. That's cool. Commissions, guys, I have people every single month that haven't signed their DocuSign. And like the payday comes and they don't get paid. And then it's like, I need my money. And I'm like, I know you do. So please just make sure that that gets signed. And yeah, 12 Days of Christmas started tomorrow. It's at 1 Eastern, the second day of Christmas. And then Christmas Cash is still going on. If you were not on my call last night for Money Makers, please go watch it. No one said like that was great, but honestly, I thought that was a pretty dang good presentation. So I'm just rolling with how I felt with it. So anyway, the bonuses are still up. So people who get a medal that do want to run it like a business, pretty hard, they can get cash still before Christmas. If anyone joins and hits Builder Pro Executive this week, they get both their bonuses paid out next Friday, okay? So they will have cash in hand as long as they sign their DocuSign, to make sure that they have a little extra cash for Christmas. So that is still huge and still going on. But then of course, all the other things pay out as normally. On the 18th, if you hit a new lifetime rank, you know, those things, and you hold it, those things will be being paid out January, February. Like it's a long-term blessing. I actually don't have any recognition names tonight. I just wanted to talk about a few incentives that are going on and then recognize the people in the pink box. So Tara has in our team page, The Movement, a giveaway going on, where if you watch the trainings every day and comment every day, you'll be entered. And then you have to do 3 takeaways on her post today. So make sure you go check that out in The Movement. I am doing an incentive for 1001 CV if you get that in December. I'm probably gonna put a couple of options out there and just see what you guys are wanting as far as what the prize will be. And then if your auto ship has already run and is set to run the 1st of January, please drop your name in the chat. I want to give you a shout out before this is over. And I'm gonna write everybody's name down. You can be in a drawing. Jake has trained several times. It's not on our training today about why the 1st or the 5th is so important to have auto ships run. All right, so I'm gonna do just a quick little training before Nicole does her amazing training. Like I said, I have a business coach, Jenny Greer, and Wyatt's gonna get this training too, but I talked last week about, you know, how you really create boundaries and time lock for this. And so one of the things we do to marry the months is the buckets, right? Well, who are you spending most of your time working with? It's the people with 2 feet in a boat. They're on your bucket sheet, okay? That's 40% of your time. 40% of your time is on your own personal recruiting, staying in phase 1. Staying in phase 1 doesn't mean you recruit all the time. Staying in phase 1 means you do this launch cycle as much as possible, piquing interest and sharing tools and inviting and introducing people to 3-ways. If they don't get closed, remember, we don't assign our worth based on the results. We assign our success in this business on being consistent and being intentional in doing the actions, okay? So when you do the laundry cycle, when you do rinse, dry, repeat, we always try to have people, and Tara Reid is a goddess at this with her newest ambassador, Amber, of continuing to set up Fab Fives. Fab Fives are a one-step process. You get people that are already in your warm market in to see what you've got going on about the company, about the product, and then we pique their interest about running a business. Or, and this is what I'm going to go over next week, pay for product type business. And so I'll go more over that. But if you do not have a Fab Five scheduled at the beginning of every month, it is going to be very, very hard for you to have 10 Class A prospects, which is how it's a good tool to run this business. Class A's you've talked to about a business or product, they indicated interest. You didn't just message them and they never like talk to you back, or you didn't just mail them a sample in their Christmas card and they never even like gave you a bah humbug. And then they're less than 60 days old. So they're Class A's within 2 months worth. And then after that, they fall into a drip list. My drip list is very, very large right now. My Class A dwindles, but my drip list is super large because I've been doing this for a while. So the quickest way to get Class A's is to continue to do Fab Five, not just when you launch. At the beginning of every month, that's part of marrying your months, guys. I will lead for anybody a Fab Five. I love doing that. I will lead for a Fab One. I do that all the time too. So it's like not a big deal. You just have to get people in front of me. You have to pique their interest by having a conversation, short and sweet. Do not throw up in your messages to people. If you call people, that's the most effective way, because they're like, whoa, this is really important. She called me. I don't even use my phone for calls, but she called me. So it's very short and sweet. I'm very excited about this project. I have got to get you to meet my friend Caitlin. Her story is insane, and we're just trying to help people feel better. It may or may not be for you, but can you just listen to what I've got going on? Who of your friends would say no to that if they have time? So we just need to be getting into that habit of doing this laundry cycle, not just when we start, not just training our new people when they start, but for us too every month. I'm guilty of this. Tara at Truex will come and be like, you need a Fab Five because you haven't had one in 2 months. And how's your funnel? You don't have 10 Class A prospects. That's the quickest way. You know, doing the blitzes every day, the power half hours, right? Where you're piquing interest and building relationships. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. We don't have to guess, is someone going to join me this month? Because we have a list. I literally have on my dry erase board my legs, and then I have of who's working this month, because that changes. And then I have a list of, honestly, my dream people, because I want to think about them every day to draw like law of attraction. And then my list of Class A's, I add them there so I can make sure I'm giving them the attention And then any new ambassadors in the team that I'm helping work with, I have their names down too, because when you enroll a new ambassador, it's like you're dating them, right? You've heard that before. You're dating someone and you're not a jerk. You're checking in with them in the morning and seeing how they slept, and you're checking in with at night and seeing how their day went, okay? So the exact percentage is if you have 10 class prospects by the 15th of the month, you know, a few of them will join. That's these red people right here. These guys will join you. And wouldn't that be fabulous to have every single month? So I just wanted to share that as a way. And like we said, we're wanting to build up our customer base big time right now. This is the time where we're trying to build that up because of what is coming in the company. So I invited Miss Nicole Gorgon on. She's a mama of a 12-year-old in St. Louis. She's a gut health advocate, so we connect on that level, and an endometriosis warrior. And she runs a travel company too. And I'll go over the bottom part. It's hard to read. Like, I know I got a horrible screenshot, but I put a cute little border around it to make it look not as janky. So anyway, I'll talk about that when you are finished, Nicole. So take it away. I'm going to get my notebook up.
Thank you, guys. Make sure that I'm off mute. Okay, perfect. Well, nice to meet you all. Like Caitlin said, I'm Nicole. I'm in St. Louis. I was in a previous network marketing project for about 6.5 years and came over to Q in March and have just absolutely loved the culture and the community here and love what we have. But Caitlin had approached me, and I'm totally humbled to be here tonight to share with you. I went over these tips on our own team call last week. And Caitlin was our guest, so she just asked me to pop in for a couple minutes and just kind of tell you how I've had successful high customer volume since coming over. So when it comes to focusing on customers and building that customer base, it's so important to understand and realize that this business is so super simple, but can be as hard as we make it. Simple because we are in the business of helping people, making relationships with other people. And that's really what it's all about. And I want you to repeat this to yourself a lot because it's just going to be ingrained in your mind. Because these products are so life-changing. And when you repeat that and believe that statement, you're going to have an effect and have belief about what you're sharing about with other people. If we focus too much on customer volume or CV, we might have this CV goal. And if we're far away from the goal toward the end of the month, it could paralyze you into the mindset of not thinking that you're going to get there. So we probably tell ourselves we're not going to stop sharing, but we probably stop sharing because we're feeling down on ourselves that we're not getting close to our goal. So focus on who you're talking to and what that person is saying and how you can make an impact. Because planting seeds always matters, but it matters a lot right now, especially with the holidays around, with New Year's resolutions, because 99.9% of people have health as part of the resolutions. People need us. We are in need and not a want. And we want them to come to us when they start reevaluating their health and their goals. So ask yourself some of these questions. How many people did I talk to in the last month? How many friends did I add on Facebook in November? And it's not just about social media, but it's an amazing tool that we have here. But if you feel like your customer base is stagnant, we have to continue putting ourselves into action. For me personally, I am kind of a 1980s girl, like paper person. I always have to follow an IPA worksheet. It's what's kept me consistent. It's what's kept me balanced, especially with having another, career on the side as well. I print out 6 IPA sheets on Sunday evenings, and I have a binder, a 3-hole punch, and those are my IPA sheets for the week. That's what's helped me keep me centered. But you have to find what's going to help you keep you centered and how you keep track of it. Because a lot of times we cast vision on what we're afraid of, that we don't keep ourselves accountable. And then we dwell on that, and it's just this vicious cycle. So that's really what's helped me as far as staying centered. But I have a couple of tips. Some are centered around the holidays that I wanted to share with you tonight. So my first tip, have samples with you all of the time. Q Sport, little bottles of hemp, you can get them on Amazon. I know Kristen Adams did an amazing video, which I can share, if Caitlin, if you don't have that, on all of the samples that she has ordered from Amazon, the little bags and little tins that you can put Q Armor in, twist. It's an investment for your business, but have samples on you so that you can take samples when you talk to people. Because if you're not talking to new people, how are you building new relationships? Again, social media is a beautiful thing, especially during the pandemic. But an example of something that worked for me in my previous project, I loved talking to retail workers. I still love talking to retail workers. I don't go out much, I'm kind of in a bubble, but when I do, I love talking to them, or hairstylists. If you see a retail worker, you can go up to them, especially if you're buying something and checking out, and say something like, gosh, I bet you're on your feet all day long. I bet your feet hurt. You know, and they might start conversation. People are looking for kind people. So if they say, yes, my feet hurt, have a Q Renew Cream sample. Say, I would love to give this to you to try it. What's your name? I'm going to add you on Facebook, and I'm going to message you later to see if that cream helped you. Retail people will love you forever. And it is amazing how many people will take the sample and will actually use it, and they will remember you and they will remember it. So if you're adding them, if they're not on Facebook, you can get their phone number and text them, but you're going to go that one step forward that they might not have an encounter like that all day long. So that's my first tip. Second tip, wear Q swag. If you do not have Q swag, put this on your Christmas list or purchase yourself a hat, a shirt. I have this cute, this is a conversation starter, even though it's just a little, I mean, this can be a really big conversation starter. Figure out how to answer what Q is and get excited about it. Let them feel your radiation and all the things great about our supplements, and tell them all about it. Have you ever tried it? Here's a sample. Are you on Facebook? I stopped using business cards a long time ago, and Facebook, Instagram, I'm slowly getting there, but Facebook is my business card. And it helps you communicate with people, making them feel good. And one of the biggest things when you're talking to people about it is having a 30-second response, an elevator speech. So for you, if you could think of what's your 30-second response. For instance, you're in the elevator with someone, they look over at you, see Q on your shirt or something, and say, oh, Q, what is that? 30 seconds. What lasting impression will you give them so that they will want to walk out of that elevator with you and keep talking? I have mine on my phone because I like to write it down every once in a while so that I can kind of tweak it, but make it your own. So if somebody asks, what is Q? This is mine. Oh my gosh, yes, I love Q. So I struggled with chronic pain, digestive issues, terrible genetics, and bloating. My friend was posting on Facebook and I watched for a while, but let me tell you, once I tried it, I noticed that I was sleeping better, had more energy, and the best part was my pain and bloating went away, and I feel better than I ever have. Done. So you're not giving an overwhelming amount of information, and it's hard to sometimes control. I mean, I remember some of my first messages with Q. I was so used to knowing being the expert where I was before and coming over here. And one of my first messages, I looked back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I left 12 one-minute messages on Messenger. I'm like, that is not what I want to do here. I want to leave them intrigued and I want to keep them coming back. But the 30-second is so important. So that's second tip, wear Q swag and find your 30-second response. Third tip, treat every product as if it just came out. There's always a new study about ingredients. There's always a news article about ingredients that Q uses. So it's always there to be able, for us to create excitement. Maybe follow up with people you haven't talked to in a while, or even people that have said no before. Circle back with them and make sure that they know that we have a new product, such and such, or I would love to send you a sample of such and such. So when talking to someone, always just invite them in with your words, because it takes more than one touch point to really get them on track or really listening to you. Fourth tip, run your own holiday special. So that could be throwing in a free vitamin spray, covering shipping, sending something out on Facebook, telling people to message you for details, maybe post something meaningful, because we have beautiful graphics that are already done for us, by corporate, or beautiful graphics of products, but subconsciously people are scrolling past graphics. So you want to try to post a picture of your kids wrapped in Christmas lights, get creative. Or how many ornaments do I have on my Christmas tree? The closest guess gets a free sample of such and such. Then you have all these people guessing, and it offers you an opportunity to add those people to your list and message everyone that guessed as a possible potential. I am a huge person of samples. I love putting something in somebody's hands, and it's been proven successful. It is an investment, but it goes so far. So if I do something, if I have somebody guess something and I have 20 people comment, you bet that I'm going to try, if I have it on hand, send 20 samples of Q Sport, something of that sort. So I always try to purchase something in addition to my own monthly order to have on hand for samples. And I really try to play off of that. You can share a recipe from Q Fit. That's a great free community page that not a lot of people know about. So you can share for people who are into cooking, health and wellness. I did this, I haven't done this yet here, but if you go to Starbucks, purchase a coffee for the car behind you and put a sample of sports with the person at, the Starbucks clerk. It makes people go into holiday spirit. People get really, really excited. So that's just my 4th tip. My 5th, I have 2 left, so thanks for sticking with me. My 5th is, now this is work, but if you're going to be doing Christmas cards, ask for your Christmas card list. Have people send you their addresses. In order to send Christmas cards out, you have to get addresses. So guess what? You're not just going to send your Christmas card. They're going to get a card and a sample of Twist or Q Sport. Make it a priority. And that is something that you can do and get excited about helping your teams do it, because it's a great way to help build. And I'm not saying you have to send that out with every Christmas card, but maybe those people that have been on your list that you really want to put something in their hands. And then my last tip, this is one that I love the most, and I know Caitlin really liked this one as well, but this was a light bulb moment when the conversation completely changed when you think about smart prospecting. I know there are so many books out there, and if you have a piece of paper and a pen, or if you're taking notes, if you have not read The 4 Color Personalities for MLM by Tom Big Al Schreider, it is so helpful. There are so many books, always tips on which books to get. This one really helped with prospecting. It's on Amazon for $12 or Kindle for $5. But you're gonna really, you can take a piece of paper. I don't think I have that from my last week, but if you take a piece of paper and you make a section, okay? You make one straight line down, one straight line across, and you're gonna put yellow at the top, blue, red, green, and you're gonna be able to put people under which column of that piece of paper. So this is going to help hone in on the people that you can help. So for instance, for yellow, those people are caring. They put other people first. If you're talking to a yellow, the ingredient list probably isn't going to drive them. It's probably not going to make them interested. So maybe someone in your yellow box, talk about how amazing the products are, how awesome our culture is, sharing testimonials with them about people you've helped. People who have, you can go to yellows and say, hey, I have a call that I would love for you to jump on. I would love your support by joining on this call tonight to talk about what I found. Most likely yellows, they're gonna do it. They're gonna jump on. So that's the yellow piece. Blues are people. That's the key word, people. They love to be around people. That is a blue. So when you're talking to blues, focus on things like the community Facebook pages, Q Fit, culture. You walk into a group of life cheerleaders, like that's what we are for each other. Bringing a lot of people together drives blue people. And then you have reds. So reds are achievers. They're really, really motivated. They're driven. They have a strong sense of feeling important. They like to be in charge and love a sense of accomplishment. So these are people who you could send QIQ presentations. You could send the ingredient list, podcasts of Dr. Stephen Kimberly. You can let them know about this ground floor opportunity. And, they might be those customers that start as customers and upgrade to ambassadors, or think they only want to be a customer and then follow you into this opportunity arena. And then greens are research oriented. They are slower to make a decision. They're really into details and facts. They're the type of person that you want to sit and talk with and say, here are the ingredients. Here is the scientific research. you probably wouldn't want to talk about the culture and community with greens because that's not, again, going to drive them. That would be more yellows. But this is something that really helped me when I started prospecting, because I think that I love scripts. I think those are great. And especially for people that have never done network marketing, you can copy and paste and send things, but not the same message is going to grab interest from all of the people that are on your list. So it's really important to have each person have their own individual conversation. And I think that that has been key to smart prospecting. But if you're looking for a book, I promise you, you will, it starts a little slow, but it's really interesting also to find out who you are, like what colors you are. Because that's also going to help relate to you growing your team and how you lead. And so I found it really interesting. So I'm sorry I took a little bit more time than what I thought, but hopefully you guys enjoyed these tips, and let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, no, we could listen for another hour, couldn't we? Wasn't that so good and so useful? When I heard her last week, I was like, ah, I have a whole page of notes. Thank you so much. Does anyone want to unmute and have any questions? Yay, look at all the note takers. Let me just make sure that's good for you before I let you go. Lauren just ordered the book, so make sure you're revenue sharing with Big Al there so you can get some proceeds. And Jerry said it was amazing. And yeah, just connect with Nicole. If you need any, as you're processing this and going over your notes, if you need any clarification, she's super on it. And when I message her, I am manifesting and working on attracting a Nicole into my business as well because she's amazing. So thank you, Nicole. And don't feel like you have to stay
if you guys, I'd love to connect with all of you guys on Facebook. I'm under Nicole Brown Gorgon. So if we're not connected already, send me a request. I'd love to connect. And thank you so much for letting me be a part of tonight. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you. We appreciate you so much. So grateful. So
thank you. You guys have a good rest of your call.
You too. I'm gonna follow up on that a little bit. I know it's hard to see, so I'll read it. And like she said, you really want your conversations to be individual, but I do have scripts for you if because this is something I talked about with my business coach, that a lot of people just feel better getting started. They have a script, and after you do this for a while, you can go off script. But I'll send this in our chat, but I always call people Love. I think I just did it to Nicole, but hey, Love, I had you on my mind to message you today. Literally just sent this to someone. I'll show you my text. And then you fill in with the corresponding color message. So if they're red, remember they care about money and achievement and recognition. I found a way to make money with hemp and nutraceuticals. That's it. Blue, people. We are having so much fun sharing this with people and having COVID-friendly get-togethers in person and online. Green, researchers, right? You might have seen how amazing we're doing on these science-backed products and in this market. Yellow, I just totally knew you'd support me either way and give me feedback. And then the end of the message is the same. It would mean the world to me to have you just take a look. It might or may not be for you. We always give people the out. We're not trying to pressure people into something they don't need. So no worries if not. Alleviate that for them. If they're too busy this time of year, if it's just not the right time, then that's fine. If they say no, thank you, just be like, thank you so much. If you ever come across with anybody who might need help in these areas, the areas we work in, please introduce me to them. I would love to help. So I will send those in the chat if you guys love the whole idea of having different messages per color personality. So you can literally go back to your list of Class A prospects and warm potentials, and you can start categorizing. You can read the book. Now that I know Lauren's ordered it, she knows I will ask her to present on one of these in a month. So that's your homework. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm gonna move on to Miss Lorena Allen and her inspiration and just sort of what was on her heart today, because we had some changes in our business today. She did, especially in her team. So I wanted her to talk a little bit, but Jerry was filling out Christmas cards before she got on, and that's what I was doing as well. And you know what, guys? I am up to 150 Christmas cards, and what I did last year was sit down at Shutterfly.com, and after I'd written out 100, I enter them all into Shutterfly.com. It was a pain in the, I'm being recorded, booty. But you know why I did it? Because I knew putting in the work then would mean this year, when I'm running a 6-figure business, that I could just go into Shutterfly, design my little card, and have them address it for me. And so I don't have to fill out all the addresses. The only ones I'm adding are people that I have connected with this year, which includes a lot of you. So anyway, you don't get twists in your envelope. So you can win a twist bag though, for winning bingo. Anyway, Lorena's going to talk about this. Putting in work now with a long-term vision, especially, and I'm also going to finish up with this, especially if you're in a slow season. Jake Spencer talked about seasons today. Eric talked to me about ebbing and flowing. So I wanted her to share. So Lorena, take it away, love.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
You good? Okay. Okay. So this here, Caitlin pulled this up, but there's been a lot of talk just about growth, and I'm huge on personal growth, self-development, mindset, all of that. I think some of it comes from my sobriety, going through recovery, but there's the ebbs and flows of life, and things are great when they're great, but then what happens when they're not so great? What do we do with that, right? So, and just like with marriages, what is it, like a 50% divorce rate? Because like you kind of hit this like low point, and then what do? You jump ship, or do you stick it out and kind of push through? Depending on the situation, it just depends. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this because we go through that within our businesses. Like we're going to hit these high points, we're going to hit these low points. And I can tell you that when I first started with Q and up until July of this year, I had recruited 2 people every single month, like clockwork. It was my mission. I made it a point. I was doing great. And then you kind of hit this, like in August, I hit this slump, right? And since then, I've been kind of in this slump. So what do I do with that? Do I switch companies? Do I pout about it? Do I blame my upline? Do I blame people for not being gifted to me? Do I like look to my ambassadors? Am I like, it's your fault? No, it's not. It's just part of what happens. But what happens when we are in that slump? That's really the mindset part of this. And I was talking to Caitlin, and I have to turn inward. I have to turn to the self-development. I have to turn to the growth. And there's so many people that I know, that I have worked with, that I have personally helped, whether it be an ambassador or whether it be a sideline or whoever it is. And there's so many people that, number one, you're not doing the full system. There's something within that rinse, dry, repeat that's being skipped over for whatever fear that you're facing. That needs to get worked through. You are not going to have long-term success skipping any one of those steps at all. I was afraid doing presentations up until Elite, okay? I was so petrified of doing this that it stunted my growth, okay? So until you push through those fears and do the self-development required to get there, you're never gonna have that long-term growth, okay? So that's part of it. The other part of it is that people are not doing the self-development required to have the success. Okay, so when I ask people, what book are you reading? I'm not reading. Well, why not? Like, why aren't you reading? You have to grow you, because your business will never outgrow you. It's never going to happen. So you raise your leadership lid, your business rises with you. Okay, so if you're not continuously growing your business, you're going to stunt with your business, and you're going to cap your business. And that's a you issue, right? So that's something that I really wanted to kind of touch on, is just making sure that you guys are growing you, and that we're not allowing the highs and the lows to get us thinking like, okay, this isn't working. It's not, happening for me. Well, yeah, we're going to have the successes, but when we have those lows, we have to get into and turn inward to ourselves say, okay, what can I be reading? Am I reading something that's going to grow me spiritually? Am I reading something that's going to grow me within my business, a business like leadership or 21 irrefutable laws of leadership? Okay. Am I reading something with parenting and growing that parenting? There's things that I'm reading for trauma that like I need help to troubleshoot my own trauma. I'm doing breath work with Gwen Dittmar. I have signed up too. So when I'm in these lows within my business, I have to turn to self-development. It's the best time that you're ever going to get. Instead of being like, okay, why isn't my business growing? I'm like, okay, why aren't I growing? And so for us to be able to come to love and accept and embrace these lows, because if we're not growing, we're dying. Whether that's in business or whether that's personally, you have to continue to grow. And even through these dips within our business, we are always growing. And then that way you're not getting bored, because I told Caitlin too, like if I'm not leading, natural born leaders have to lead. I have to lead. It is not something that it's like an option for me. If I'm not leading, I'm totally bored. I'm like, okay, well, nobody needs me. Like what am I going to do? Just like not do anything? No, I have to do something that's going to grow me as a leader, because natural born leaders are born to do that. So anyway, I just get so like passionate about it, because it's like, no, the grass is greener where you grow it. Okay. A lot of these people, I'm not saying all of them because I don't know all of them personally, but a lot of these people that are jumping ship are not either doing the system fully or they're not growing themselves. At some point, either one or both of those needs work, and our grass is going to be green where we water it. So anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. That's a life raft because I'm sort of like you. I like to stay busy and I like to make sure that people are taken care of. So, but we can't do that unless we work on ourselves. So yeah, I have like a book I have 2 different books on Audible going. I have a book in Kindle going. Then I have 2 different like actual books. And then I'm signed up for the 12 days of mindfulness. I'm signed up for the breath work that's coming. I'm following this Rory Vaden. He's doing like a training right now. And then I'm also doing this Abundance Society workshop every day. So anyway, we have so little faith in the ebb and flow of life, of love, of relationships. Like faith is tattooed on my foot. We leap at the flow of time and resist in terror its ebb. And I've been there and like, oh my gosh, like my business is declining. We are afraid it will never return. We insist on permanency, on duration, on continuity, when the only continuity possible in life, as in love, is in growth, in fluidity, in freedom. So like I said, showing up every day and doing the things, but the growth, like Lorena was talking about. So that is a life raft to give you if you feel like I'm not growing. Then yes, personal growth is real. And then the other thing, I'm going to go over this more next week, but here's a call to action. And don't hop off. I do have a giveaway to give, but if you are not someone who is recruiting business builders right now, a lot of times we get down on ourselves, and I had to sit and really figure out what I can create for myself and for my team. And I came up with something. And I'm going to be going over it on Tuesday, because that's what our next team training is, but I'm actually doing a call Monday night. And these are what I'm doing Monday night. I'll make a graphic for it and I'll post it in our chat group. This is a pay for product call. So this is any customer, any potential that you think is interested in revenue sharing with Q, but is just too intimidated, too scared, too burned by their last MLM project to want to do it as a business. And the whole idea is that if we continue to grow our pot of customers, and I continue every month to do these pay for product calls, and I really break down that if you just want to figure out one product that you love the most, so that's what I'm asking everyone here to do. Unless you have 2 recruits by the next time we meet where we can mentor them and get them onboarded, then this is it's within the same laundry cycle. I will show you how it's still the same process, but what product do you love the most? Like literally think about it now. Type it in the chat. What product do you love the most? Pick one. Don't be one of those people that's like, I can't. Just pick one. Now, find 5 people who need that. If you picked the Renew, Nicole just gave you an example. Find a hairdresser, find someone who's on her feet all day, find a 7-month pregnant woman and ask them, like, your feet must be hurting, and give them a sample. And guys, I have all the things. I will be happy to send you things. You don't have to win them. If you are serious about growing your business and you need that right now, because we never want people to go into debt, just reach out to me. But yes, concentrate, meditate on that. Who are 5 people that need that? And just say like, hey, I'd love to send you something. And I will coach you through that. So when you have found 5 people who need what you love, message me. And it's going to be no shock what I do with them. You can probably guess, but that is your call to action. I need a belief check this month. I need a check of belief that what Nicole said, what did she say? As long as I only worry about, because these products are so life-changing. Why am I sharing? Why am I doing this? We all have big whys, but when it comes down to it, because these products are so life-changing, okay? So if you can remember that, let me do the drawing real quick while you guys hop or put your hands back in the back. Hey, Lou. Lou, pick a number 1, 2, or 3.
Well, hello. I unmuted myself. Oh, there she is.
I'm trying to get Luke to pick a number 1, 2, or 3, let alone he could pick his favorite product. 3, he said 3. So the winner is Katrina. Katrina, are you still on here? Yep, Katrina's still on here. Awesome. So Katrina, you are winning the gift card for this week. And remember, the drawing was for people who were in the chat, who said in the chat that they had their auto ship on run already this month, and it's set for the 1st or the 5th of January. So congrats to that. I'll let everybody go because I've talked too long. My son's noise machine's going off, so I know it's bedtime. So anywho, thank you guys. Oh, let me look at people's favorite. Isn't it funny? Look at this, guys. The first several are different. Do you guys see this in the chat? Align's a pretty popular one. Doesn't that just go to show you that what you love, like sometimes we only share what I love, what we love, which is exactly what I'm asking you to do. But you also have to keep in mind that when you are talking to people, they might not love what you love, but that's another conversation. But that's the thought I had, so I guess I was sharing that. But yeah, look at that, all of them. Mine is a full spectrum hemp. Mine is, I guess I have to pick one product. That's a line, not a line, a line of products. Yeah, I'll do the fuse as well. Okay, so now we know. Get used to that because we're gonna have a holiday party and 2 team trainings, and we're gonna be doing lots of getting to know each other. Doesn't that sound like fun? No, I just want to team build, and I just want to like have fun because this is supposed to be fun. I just feel like Taryn said one time she felt like, and this is her beliefs, I'm just quoting her, like the devil was on her team trying to like steal their joy, and different parts of my organization are having trouble right now. So we wanted to throw you some lifelines. Do this to get customers, do this in your slow times personal growth, and I have been trying to create something, a process, or an addition to our process that can help you with recruiting business partners. So we have all the things covered. Okay, guys? All right, you guys have a great week. See you in the chat. Love you all. Bye-bye.